Hello, good evening. My name is Pradikta and I'm an MBA student at ITB. Today, I'm gonna present about the rise of the IV electric vehicle in Indonesia, the implication from the economic and the environmental implication. Let me share my presentation first. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Ah, so slide 6. The rise of electric vehicles in Indonesia, the economic and environmental implication from me, Pradikta from YP69C class of MBA Bandung, and this is Economic and Business Landscape Analysis course by Mr. Zikri and Aswin. To start with this topic, I want to start with the 2003 Indonesian. It's ranked 14 in world most polluted country in the world, in the region. And the energy sectors, it's emits almost 600 CO2 equivalent in 2021, primarily from energy industry or generation, which account for 50% of the total emission. Meanwhile, the transportation is the second largest source of emission. There are 23% of emission is coming from the transportation sides. The transportation sectors, road, especially the road transportation, is the largest contributor of with over 90% of share pollution. And then the to fulfill the Paris Agreement, decarbonization of transportation sector is crucial to limit the temperature rise to stable below 1.5 degrees Celsius. To achieve that, one of the plan is to electrification in the road transportation by using electric vehicle for personal use or for public transportation use. And why EV ecosystem as a solution? It's similar. It's similar with vision for development of industrial EV in Indonesia by Ministry of Investment in 2021. First, for energy security, in this case, it's expected to reduce domestic fuel consumption and reduce import as well as increase energy efficiency and conservation conservation in the transportation sector. Number two, the environmental impact, namely like realization of the clean energy, clean and environment-friendly air quality, and commitment to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. Number three, it's about the national capacity by encouraging technology and mastering it, and it will make Indonesia as a production base and more further become an exporter of EVs and also reduce its fuel import. Okay, next the literature review I separated in three parts. The part one is about the rise of EV industry, second economic implication, the positive one and the negative one, and the third the environment implication, the benefit and the drawback. Start with the first sector, the rise of EV industry. Indonesian government set ambitious target for EV production and adoption, aiming 20% of total vehicle production to be EV by 2025, which is quite unachievable, I think. and planning to phase out internal combustion engine vehicle by 2040 to achieve zero emission by 2016 by Chandra 2022. Analyzing the impact of taxes of luxury goods such as electric car can provide insight into how fiscal policy influence EV sales in Indonesia by Kasim in 2023. In economic implication, Chinese EV automaker gain market share and expand into foreign market. They are leveraging cost advantages by Nova 2022. Second is expanding EV vehicle sector present various economic benefits such as the growth of EV ownership leads to a shift in demand from traditional petrol and diesel vehicle. To facilitate this growth, it needs to follow upgrade the electricity network, which can create up to 3,000 new jobs in 2030 by Pradikta. And the last about the environment implication, number one, EV powered by renewable energy source can significantly lower harmful gas emission, contributing to cleaner air and healthier environment. The second is the implementation of EVs in Indonesia is expected to contribute the country efforts toward achieving net zero emission and enhancing energy security by Mid-Zero 2021. And the third one about the methodology. The methodology in this essay is quantitative approach with secondary data from the internet. The purpose to provide understanding of economic and environmental implication in EV adoption in Indonesia, also make the recommendation for the stakeholder. The limitation itself is about the study does not involve primary data collection, which may limit the depth of accuracy of a finding, and unpublished data limited accessibility may not capture in this analysis. Okay, let's begin with the journey of EV Indonesia. In 2017, the its name is the General Plan of National Energy. Next, in 2016, PLN electric company in Indonesia launched the first electric charging station in Indonesia. 2019, Transjakarta trialed the electric buses first at taxi in Bluebirds, and also the Presidential Regulation 55 signed to promotion a battery-powered road vehicle, outlining fiscal and non-fiscal incentive. In 2020, Grab launched the EV fleets in Jakarta and Bali. 2020, Ministry of Industry issued new regulation on the production and testing of EVs. And then investment with LG, and then 2021, increased EV emission creates Indonesia Battery Corporation, IBC. 2022, Ministry of State-owned Enterprise encouraged the use EV by the government and by the business. And in last year, 2023, new EV regulation, government subsidy, road restriction, bypass, and improving electricity price. And this is the roadmap of EV ecosystem in Indonesia. This is the projection of increasing the growth of electric vehicle in Indonesia by 2030. We project Indonesia government project will be 13 billion of motorcycle EV and 2 billion of car EV. And then this is the projection of the charging station. This is the projection of a battery replacement place. And this is the case study in China government supporting and helping drive EV penetration. If we see this, China starting the industry in 2010, and now it's running for like 10 years. And so Indonesia EV ecosystem is just has born. I mean, if we learn in the mm, if we learn in the company life cycles, this is uh, our industry. It's still in the early stage of growing. Not yet growing, but still in the early stage. So the initial investment will be high and the revenue will be low, even they not getting any profit from this cycle. First, let's talk about the economic benefit. Uh, as we learn in macroeconomic, uh, uh, economic in like economic benefit in my macroeconomic, I believe it is the GDP, or and it consists of consumption, investment, government intervention, and sorry the net, the export minus import. First one, from the consumption, the EV ecosystem increase, and it will increase also the public consumption of total. First, about the total cost ownership of the electric vehicles. Number two, like the number of electric vehicle sold during 2023 was 17.06 thousand units, increased 65.2% year on years, and now available 1,380 units of public electric vehicle charging station built in 956 locations in Indonesia by April 2024. So if the EV ecosystem is increased, it will contribute first by the consumption, because uh, the the total cost, the the selling of the EV itself, it will increase. So selling the EV increase, the spare part, the service station, the uh, what accessories of the car will also increase too. The increasing consumption will increase also the national GDP. Okay, and second is about the supply chain investment and job creation. As we know, Indonesia holds the world's largest nickel in reverse estimates 21 million tons, which like 22% of global reverse. In the past few years, Indonesia has attracted significant foreign investment in this nickel industry, primarily focused on electric battery production and related supply chain development. This socioeconomic impact of many incoming investment is increase in the number of new jobs. Okay, with the increase of new job, the community income will increase along with the increase of people income. The value of domestic consumption will also increase as the government revenue also increase from the taxation sector. I mean, like this. There is some investment from inside the country or outside the country come because Indonesia have the largest nickel reserve. So, and then the EV itself need nickels for the battery. Like in 2022, German company BASF, it's invest 2.6 billion partnership. It's expected to be finalized in the end 2023. In in the same year, Indonesia Ministry of Investment and LG signed US 9.8 billion of MOU LG Energy Solution to invest across of EV supply chain. And in the Yeah, in 2022, LG Energy break ground on the $5.3 billion smelter in Central Java province. This smelter will have capacity to produce 150,000 tons of nickel sulfate for years. Yeah, I mean, the investment will come to the nickel industry itself, and then investment will come to the manufacturing uh, of the EV, like the BYD. It's will come and make their mills in Indonesia, and like the uh, Wuling also, they relocate they relocate Wuling and Hyundai, they relocate some their production in Indonesia to fulfill a full incentive. Both company maintain factory outside Jakarta and the leading contender in the EV market in terms of sales. Oh, when the investment come to Indonesia, of course they need labor, right? And then it will create job for Indonesian people, and because of increasing of the job, the salary will also increase. The increase of salary will increasing people income, and the domestic consumption will be also higher. And the the last thing is about the government taxation sector. It's when people got higher income, government uh, can tax them. They should pay the tax higher. It's good for Indonesian budget itself. Number three, I believe it's about the government intervention. Government intervention, I spread by two: fiscal and non-fiscal. Fiscal is such as tariff, subsidy, reduce tax, something like that. And non-fiscal, like easy to invest, special treatment for EV consumer. Yeah, based in Keynesian theory, the government intervention can support and strengthen the economy. Because of that, to accelerate the development of the electric vehicle ecosystem in Indonesia, Indonesia government has made several regulations, such as from the producer. I divide it is in the producer side and the consumer side. From the producer side, there are Presidential Regulation number 55, 2019, about the acceleration of battery EV program on road transportation. The strategy has attracted EV battery and manufacturer company to locate the manufacturing industry in the country. Number two, it's Ministry of Energy and Resource Regulation number 13, 2020, concerning provision of electronic charging infrastructure. They regulate where to place electric vehicle charging station and electric vehicle battery exchange station. And investment minister regulation number 6, 2023, the Indonesian government offered exemption of import duty and sales tax on luxury goods related to the import of electric car in certain quantity. In fiscal policy, there are Minister of Finance Regulation 2020. It is about the provision and corporate income reduction. It's about the tax holiday. If corporate taxpayer who make new investment in pioneer industry are entitled to a tax holiday facility with a percentage of corporate income tax reduction 100%. Investment value bigger than Indonesia 500 billion rupiah, or mini tax holiday with percentage of corporate income tax reduction 50%. If investment value of 100 billion to 500 billion. And also there are Minister of Finance Regulation 176 2015 is about exemption from import duty and import of machinery of goods and material for the construction or development of industry in the framework of investment. There are also Government Regulation 45 2016, Article 29A and B regulate company incentive to receive a gross income deduction up of 200% of total costs incurred for work practice and apprenticeship and 300% of total incurred in research and development. And Government Regulation number 78 2019, the income tax facility for investment in certain business fields or in certain region, company engaged in nickel mining industry, which the main material of making battery, also take advantages of tax allowance in the form of a net income reduction 30% of total investment value in form of tangible fixed asset include land, which is used for the main business activity, charged for 6 years at 5% a year. From the consumer side, there are fiscal and non-fiscal policy also, like Government Regulation number 474 2021. Pure electric and fuel cell vehicle are also given VAT PPNBM incentive with a tax base of 0%. Ministry of Finance Regulation 38 2023, the regulation regulate government born value added tax PPN and DTP. Rate become 1% on certain electric vehicle with minimum domestic component level TKDN of 40% and apply for fiscal year 2023 starting from April to December 2023. Ministry of Finance Regulation number 8 2024. This regulation regulate government similar with before and non-fiscal regulation like the Bank Indonesia Regulation number 22 2020 concerning the second amendment incentive minimum down payment of 0% and low interest rate for electric vehicle. And like the others is a special treatment, like they can go uh, go through the restricted roads with even an odd number. So and number 4 is about it's about the impact in the national trade balance. In the long run, increase export and EV and its component will in the long run, Indonesia expected to be act like exporter of the EV and its component and its technology outside, I mean export, and also they tend to be reduce the import. Then if this successful, they will reduce the import of fossil fuel. From the environmental benefits, they are reduced in air pollution and greenhouse emission, reduce in noise pollution, like EV produce 75 decibel compared with 80 to 100 decibel in fuel vehicle, and then the energy saving. The electric vehicle have higher energy efficiency than conventional vehicle. Because it's conventional car some energy will waste in the form of heat, and it is different with the electric vehicle. Assuming the cost of 1 liter in electric vehicle is 1,300 rupiah per kilometer, while electric vehicle cost per kilometer is only 550 rupiah. It's like half uh, from half from the conventional one. And also the electric vehicle, it's not using the oil. They don't change oil, so waste of liquids will also reduce in this area. That is from the benefit. And if if I uh, as economic we as economic, I see from the benefit side and comparing with the disadvantages side, which one we have the more weight. In some challenge happen in economic and environment side. In economic side, like job displacement, international auto industry. I mean, in the future, as gasoline power most less popular, job in manufacturing, repair, maintenance, and etc., it's could uh, reduce, and the economic hardship in the community that rely heavy on the traditional auto industry will also reduce. And there are some news also in the mining of nickel. There are a lot of workers from Chinese come to Indonesia, and uh, Chinese come from Indonesia. So the economic benefit will not go to Indonesian people, but will go to the foreign. I mean the Chinese labor itself. Number two, the rapid change in technology such as battery, uh, battery change. If like Tesla and BYD, Tesla use uh, nickel for its battery, and BYD use lithium iron phosphate LFP battery. So when production make production or the customer love using the LFP battery, of course it will be a challenge for Indonesia itself, because Indonesia is really rely on the selling nickel selling for the increasing of economy of Indonesia. I mean, like the making of the battery and supply chain and etc. And number three is potential market failure. The high cost of building of this ecosystem, this infrastructure, and can not always have not always will be ending positive, right? And what about when the industry does not reach its full potential? How much it's I mean the economic disadvantages. Number two, from the environment sides, one, environment impact of nickel mining. The excessive nickel mining can have significant environmental impact, including water and soil pollution, and also deforestation itself. Like some news have up this story in their headlines. Number two, heavy carbon footprint of from the manufacturing. Building EV might be generate more carbon emission than a gasoline car because the manufacturing its energy incentive rights and the process itself manufacturing energy it's come from the dirty source like a coal, not a renewable energy. So if in the future the factory can using renewable energy for their electricity, not using coal, I mean this environmental drawback challenge will be reduced. But for now, even if they have low carbon emission, low pollution in the car, but in the manufacturing itself, they still use coal uh, for their running the energy and manufacturing. Number three, strain on the electricity grids. This widespread EV adoption will require significant increase in electricity demand. Upgrading the electricity grids to handle this demand will be expensive, time consuming, and also, I mean, Indonesia still use the non-renewable energy to generate to generate electricity. So it's like two two sides flip of coin. I mean, in one hand it is green, but the supporting energy it is not green at all because it's come from the fossil fuel like the coal, not the renewable energy itself. And number four, it's about the technology, the around the battery life, around the battery recycling itself. I mean, when the battery is no longer can use, it's have to be recycled, right? And the government and the producer or the consumer will have to uh, make distinction in 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 how they disposal the excess battery, and of course uh, without environmental hazard. And to be concluded, the adoption of EV in Indonesia offers numerous benefits that significantly outweighs the challenge. The transition to EV is critical for reducing greenhouse gas emission, improving air quality, achieving the country net zero emission target by 2060. From the economic side, the development of the EV industry can lead to increased national income, job creation, substantial foreign domestic investment, particularly in the nickel industry, which position Indonesia as global leader in the EV battery production, and also the Indonesia trade balance, I mean the APBN itself. The government give the incentive for now to growing this industry, and by the industry growing, the government will receive the result in the long periods from like the the selling of the EV itself, the selling EV total cost ownership, the tax from the manufacturer, from the company, from the people who work there, and then from yeah, from that area. However, it's essential to address the associated challenge such as environment concern related to nickel mining, the heavy carbon footprint of manufacturing, and strain on the electrical electric grid by implementing sustainable mining practice, improving recycle environment, and upgrade the electricity grid. This challenge can be mitigated. Yeah, the benefit is more than the drawback, and because it is the the government uh, put it in the strategic national strategic area. So I believe that this electrification in vehicle will continue in the long run. The last part is about the recommendation for the government. First, affordability, the price, like they expand the subsidy for the buyer or for the um, company who want to make investment in Indonesia with uh, tax break on like financing option. Number two, it's the workforce development. They have to train the worker, partner with school, uh, offer scholarship, and making a lot of um, what as thesis about this subject. And third is practice sustainable mining. They have to enforce regulation, promote sustainable practice, and research alternative. Number four is energy, clean energy to boost renewable incentive investment to increase more clean energy. The last is public awareness to educate on EV benefit and address range anxiety and share source success story. Like in the PWC, PWC, what? Uh, Sorry, I don't get the word. Oh, survey. PWC survey. There are some uh, prospect perspective not to not buying the EV vehicle, like the price itself still high, the technology itself, is it reliable for a long period of time? The third is how how about if I uh, if I can if bagaimana kalau kehabisan uh, bahan bakar di jalan, and then they also um, and the survey also result, uh, for now electric vehicle it's not for the first buy car, but for the second of or the third car. So they have the gasoline car, and also for the second or third car they use, and they want to try using the electric vehicle. Is it uh yeah, like they are the early adopter because the price is quite high comparing with the gas gasoline car. Recommendation for the producer, sorry, it's the cost reduction, the innovative battery technology, localized component, optimized production, diverse option for AV model. It's enhanced battery range and design, and also the electrify public transport like the Transjakarta before. Because in the long view, the key of the environment effect is back to the public transport. If the government can change the behavior of worker in a town to leave the vehicle at home and change to the public transportation. I believe that it will more increasing the speed of the environment impact, environment positive impact. The last is about battery sustainability. Invest in recycling, ensure responsible disposal, and partner with waste manager. For the customer, it's about the total cost of ownership, considering long-term owning, utilize incentive, and sustainable choice, like choice responsibly, source battery, research brand, and recycle battery properly. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you for the lesson for Pak Zikri and Pak Aswin. See you in the next time in the other occasion. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.